Now, hello everyone, and welcome to Farming Through the Seasons with Agri Aware. Just going to have a little introduction and I'll tell you about what we're going to do today, and then I will introduce you to John. So let's have a little look at our participants. Now, is there any names I recognize? Any schools want to let us know that they're here? John might know some of the local schools. You can pop it into the Q&A box and I'll be able to see it. I can just see teachers' names for now. Oh, people letting us know they're here. We have Temple Dairy National School in County Tipperary. Hello, everybody. We have Our Lady of Lourdes in Rossbryan. So that's third class and they're in County Limerick. Hello, everyone. We have, lots of people saying hello. Hi, everybody. We have sixth class in Scoil in Moreau. Scoil Nave Cualan in Barsalee. Lots of people saying hello. We have third class from Thomond Primary School. Hi, everyone. Okay, everyone, thanks so much for saying hello. We might give a few more shout outs later on when we're doing our Q&A session. So for now, I'd just like to introduce you to John Molyneaux, who is from West Limerick. So John will take over in just a moment and he'll tell us a little bit about himself and he'll show us around his farm. So I'll pin his video so you'll be able to see his screen and I will turn mine off. And if there are any connection issues, I'll take back over again. So before we get started, we all know that we're in the season of autumn, and this is the first of the Farming Through the Seasons for the year. So we're having our autumn sessions now in the lovely beginning of October. We will have a winter session in December, and then again we'll have a session in the spring and a session in the summer. So you will get to see what it's like on the farm throughout the entire year. So we might see if we can introduce John over here. John, can you hear us? Oh, we might have lost John there for a second, but not to worry, he'll come back. We have Shanna Golden National School in County Limerick. Who else do we have? We have Scoil Ursula in Sligo. Hi, everybody. Now, most of our participants are already here. I just wanted to wait until everybody had joined. So I think we're just waiting on two more. But what we might do in the meantime is we might watch a little video on the story of milk until John comes back. Oh, wait, John's back. Can you hear us, John? He might be just joining.
So good morning, everyone.
He can hear us there. So I can. I'm going to spotlight your video now, John, and if you can just move yourself towards somewhere that has the best signal, that would be perfect.
Okay.
There you go.
So can everyone hear me?
Yeah.
Okay. So, right. So first of all, look, my name is John Molyneaux, dairy farmer here in West Limerick in a place called Drumcullough. So you're all very welcome today. So what we're going to talk about one great. So you can see the cows in the distance.
Sorry, everybody. John is having some connection issues. We had a little test beforehand. It never works out just right when you want it to. John, if you can hear me, if you can just get yourself back to an area that has the best possible signal, and we should be okay again.
Okay. Oh, can you hear me now?
Yeah, we can just about hear you, yeah. If you could go as close as possible to...
Okay. So, yeah, just to say there that we're a dairy farm only, so we have no other cattle, only cows. So we're what we call a spring calving dairy herd. So we start calving cows in February, and we keep milking them right through the summer on into the autumn and in towards the winter, and we stop milking in December, in the middle of December. So as we're in the autumn, we'll talk about the autumn and what's a typical day of at this time of the year. So that's the first job of the day, is to milk the cows. So the next job during the day then is I'd feed myself. I go have my breakfast after the cows, and we do what we call we measure grass. So it's a little job. We walk around and we see how much grass is on the farm for the cows, so that we'll always have enough of grass for the cows to eat. And then this week is an important week in the farm for us, because we're doing what we call a milk recording. So a milk recording is when we'll come in and we put up certain meters, special meters, that will see how many litres each cow is milking, and he'll take a little sample of the milk and he'll put the cow's number on the milk bottle, and they'll send that away to the laboratory, and that will be tested for what we call butterfat and protein. But also a very important thing for every dairy farmer is what's called the somatic cell count. Now, that might sound very complicated to school children, but it's a measurement of how healthy the cow's udder is, because that's where the milk is produced, and that tells us how healthy it is. And the higher the number, the chances are there might be a little bit infection in the udder. So when we get the results back, we'll know by the numbers. If it is high, we'll then go and ask the vet, how do we sort this out? And he will advise us on what treatment to use to get the infection back down in the udder again, so that they can produce healthy milk again. Another important thing that we do this time of the year is we also vaccinate the cows for what we call salmonella. Now, salmonella is a nasty little bug, and cows can get very, very sick from it. And we vaccinate them. Just like people got the COVID vaccine there on in the year, we give this vaccine to the cows every year to keep them healthy. And the other things in that we do on the farm, this time of the year as well, we trim back the hedges to keep them from coming out onto the fields. As you probably see all around the country this time of the year, tractors and hedge trimmers trimming back the hedges, keeping them nice and tidy, keeping them from coming out onto the electric fence that's right around the boundary, because we need to keep a good shock in the fence so that our cattle don't go out into the neighbours, and that they don't go out into the roads and cause accidents and all that. And other jobs we do on the farm then as well is maintenance of the sheds before the cattle come into for the winter. So we replace any broken cubicles, or we replace any water troughs that are leaking, and we fix all them and make sure that everything is right before the cows come in for the winter. And that's generally what we do this time of the year on the dairy farm. So with that, I'll hand it back to Amy and open for questions if anyone has any questions on what I just said.
Perfect. Thanks, John. So I might just play a little video here for everyone, just to learn a little bit more about the story of milk, just for any of our younger listeners. Do you know if there's an area on your farm that's particularly good for signal? I'm getting a red signal for you. So if you maybe want to move yourself somewhere else, and I'll just play this video for everybody. Now, just a second, everyone. We'll play the video. We had a perfect signal just beforehand. It's always the way. Now, here we go. story of milk, from grass to glass. Milk is produced by mammals. The cow is a very well-known producer of milk. They make milk to feed their calves and to feed people. Farmers used to milk their cows by hand, but this can be very dangerous. Cows are very large animals. Nowadays, we use big machines to milk our cows. Let's take a closer look at what's going on here. First, the farmer must squeeze out the milk to make sure that it looks healthy. They're looking to make sure that it's not a strange colour and doesn't have any funny lumps. Then they clean each teat to get rid of any germs. It's very important that we don't add extra germs to our milking machine. Next, they attach a part of the milking machine called the cluster to each one of the cow's teat. The cluster will lightly squeeze the teat to extract the milk from the cow's udder. The milk gets stored in a big fridge. This keeps it cool and stops germs from growing. A truck with a milk tank on the back comes to collect the milk and bring it to the creamery. At the creamery, the milk gets pasteurized. This heats the milk to 72 degrees to kill dangerous bacteria. This is not quite as hot as your kettle, but pretty close. The milk is then put into bottles or cartons to be sent to the shop where it is purchased by you or your family. And that is the story of how milk gets from grass to glass. Thanks for watching. Now I'll pop my camera on there now. Okay, John, your signal has gone green, so we shouldn't have any more issues now when we open up for the Q&A. So everybody, does anybody have any questions for John? He told us a little bit about what happens on the farm during the autumn time. So he said there's hedge trimming going on, there's repairing of sheds. I'm sure there's some fixing of fences. And of course, there's the milking of the cows as well, because even in the autumn, that doesn't stop. Does anybody have any questions they would like to ask? Oh, there's questions flying in here. Now, a pupil would like to ask a question, John. So if you just unmute yourself and you'll be able to answer. So the first question is, what tractors do you have and what horsepower are they?
Okay, so I have one tractor on the farm, and it is a Massey Ferguson 5455, and it is 100 horsepower. Now, I also have a teleporter on the farm for doing all the feeding the cows for the winter time, and that's a New Holland. So they're the two machinery that I have in the yard for the farm, yeah.
Very good. Another question coming in from a pupil. What time do you get up in the morning, John? Oh, did you hear us there, John?
No, I missed that now. Sorry.
Oh, no problem. What time do you get up in the morning?
I get up at 6 a.m. every morning. So that's we start. It is lovely in the summertime to get up at 6 a.m. because it's bright and you hear the birds singing and all the rest of it. So from this time of the year on, at 6 o'clock in the morning, it's dark, and this morning now was miserable. It was raining, but we still have to get up to milk the cows and bring in the cows from the field to milk them. But we start every morning. We get up every morning at 6 o'clock, yeah.
That is an early start. I'm sure some of the pupils joining probably don't get up that early, or maybe they do. You can let us know.
Yes.
So another question. What breed of cows do you have, John?
We have what we call is we have Frisian Jersey crossbred cow. That's the types of cows we have here. They're a Jersey crossed with a Frisian. So that's the type of cow we have.
Very good. And they give you good milk, don't they, John?
They give us good quality milk, lots of butterfat, lots of protein, and lots of high quality milk, yes.
Excellent. Do you have any horses on your farm?
No horses. Nothing, only cows on the farm. There's no horses or sheep or goats. There's one bull and the cows, that's it.
One bull and the cows, very good.
Yes.
And how many do you have?
We have just over 100 cows. We have 102 cows exactly. That's what we have.
102. And is that a lot for a dairy farm, John, or is that?
It is a lot, yeah. It is a lot for the farm, yeah. Some herds are bigger herds and some herds are smaller herds. Some lads have 50 or 60 cows. More lads could have 200 or 300 cows. Depends on the size of the farm and the amount of land you have. That the more land you have, the more cows you can carry. The less land you have, the less cows. But here we just have enough ground to carry 100 cows.
Lovely. Let's see, so many questions. Who do I pick? So Cross Keys National School from County Cavan would like to know, do you ever take a day off, John?
We do. We take a week off in the middle of the summer. So when we take a week off in the summertime, we have to get in what we call a relief milker. So we employ a man to come in and he'll take over and he'll do the milk in the morning and the evening milking, and he'll see after the farm for the week we're missing. So we do take and at times often when Limerick were playing in the All-Ireland final when they beat Kilkenny this year, yes, we took that day off as well and we went to the match. Yeah,
Brilliant. It's important to take a day off, isn't it?
it's very important. Yes.
So lots of people have asked how many cows you have. So everybody, he's got 102 cows. Let's see. How much milk do your cows produce each day?
Okay, so when a cow calves down, she normally produces maybe 15 or 16 litres of milk a day. So as the time is going on, we'll say when she calves down in February, she'll have probably 15 or 16 litres of milk. By the time it comes to May, and that's what we call peak milk, the cow will probably be producing probably 25 to 28 litres a day. And then as the summer is going on, it reduces down and down and down. So we're down to at the moment, we're producing 17 litres a day, and that will come on down as the winter is coming in. And it'll come down to roughly about 10 or 12 litres, and then we'll dry off the cows.
Okay, very good. Another question. What is your favourite thing about being a farmer during the autumn?
Okay, well, the first thing I notice around the farm is the different colours in the trees. You see the leaves all changing colours, which is very nice, and it's very, very nice to be watching it and looking at it at this time of year. And even this morning when I was out, no, you wouldn't see it in the summertime, but this time of year when I was out bringing the cows this morning, I had 2 foxes in the field with me, and they were running around the field in the dark, so I could see the foxes with the flashlight. Things like that. It is very nice to see them things on an autumn morning, and it is actually a lovely, lovely time of the year. Especially if the weather can be a bit, is finer. If the weather was fine, to be very, very nice time of the year, and I love this time of the year actually. And it is a quieter time of the year for a dairy farmer because we're not under as much pressure as the summertime when we're at silage, or in the springtime when there's cows calving and all that. So this time of the year is very, very nice, and I like it for those reasons alone. Yeah.
Yeah, autumn is my favourite season as well. You can start putting on the fire and getting cozy. It's nice.
Yes. Yes.
John, how long have you been a farmer?
So I'm farming here with the last 30 years. My father was farming here before me. So when he retired, I took over farming then, so I'm farming here over 30 years.
Lots of experience. 30 years is a long time.
Yes. Yes.
Oh, somebody is actually asking about silage. So do you make silage and hay, or just silage, John?
No, it is just silage. And as you can see here behind me, and that's straw that we buy in straw from tillage farmers that are up the country. So we buy straw, and that's for bedding for the calves and the cows for the springtime. But we only make silage in the farm, and we don't make any hay.
Brilliant. Well, this is a lovely question. What inspired you to be a farmer?
What inspired me to be a farmer? I suppose I just loved being outdoors. I love being out in the fresh air. I love being my own boss. I don't have to take orders from anyone. I can do as I see fit. And if I want to after milking cows in the morning, if I don't want to do anything today, well, I don't have to do anything. I'm my own boss. And I love it about that. There's no one dictating down to me what I should do or what I shouldn't do. And you can plan your day and you can work around it. And that's the most part of being farming that I love, your own boss.
Mm-hmm. So who's the boss between you and the cows?
Well, my wife is here as well, so Martina, she gives a hand in the farm as well. So I suppose we have to listen to what Martina says as well. But who's the boss between me and the cows? The cows generally win out, being honest about it.
Oh. John, how large is your farm? How many acres do you have?
So there's 102 acres on the farm. There's 1 acre for every cow. That's how
Oh,
many
wow.
acres. Yeah.
That's a nice way of remembering that.
Yes.
Do you have any calves at the moment?
We don't have any calves in the farm. The calves are outside in an outside farm. So we do what we call contract rearing. So what we do when the calves are born, and we rear the calves until they're about 7 or 8 or 9 weeks old. And then we give them to another farmer where he will continue on and we'll pay that man to rear the calves for us. So he'll keep them for the first winter and then he'll send them back to us again as in calf heifers so that they can join the dairy herd. The reason for that is we have no room here to keep calves because we haven't enough of ground. We want to keep 100 cows here, so there is no room to keep calves. So that's how we do it. We give it to a farmer that is able to mind them for us.
Brilliant. That sounds like a good system. John, do you have many safety features on the farm?
We do. We have a lot of safety features on the farm, yeah. It is very important on farms. The silage pit, we have a rail all around the top of the silage pit along by the walls to keep us from falling off of the silage pit when we're covering the pit and taking off the covers in the winter time. All the electrics in the farm are all safety governed by trip switches and all that so that we can't get electrocuted in the farm. The slurry pits are all fenced off and we have manholes, secure manhole covers and all the tanks for holding the slurry and all that, yeah.
So important to be safe on the farm.
Yes, very important, yeah.
A pupil wants to know, do you have a dog?
We have a house dog. He's in the house. He doesn't come into the farm. Well, he comes into the farm now and again, but he's a house dog. He's a Bernese mountain dog. So he likes to come around the farm, but he wouldn't be a farm walking dog, but we do have a dog.
They are beautiful dogs. I don't know if anybody has seen a Bernese mountain dog before, but they're lovely big dogs.
Yeah, and he likes the open spaces and he'll run around the fields now, and he likes that, yeah.
Another pupil wants to know, have you ever been kicked by a cow while milking?
Yes, I have, but not very badly now because the milking parlours are designed if a cow kicks, there's a bar behind her that she'll kick the bar. Now you might get a tip, but not very badly now. But in the springtime, yeah, it can be, especially with heifers coming in.
Mm-hmm.
There might be, yeah, but we have got a little tip now and again, yeah. No, we didn't break any fingers or hands or anything, but you just have to be careful, and it's something else we have to be safe about, especially in the springtime.
Mm-hmm.
Cows and milking heifers, yeah.
Yeah, very important. I've heard many times before that a cow that has just had a calf is more dangerous than a bull, so you have to be very careful. Now, this is a question from somebody who's obviously in the know. Do you have a diet feeder, John?
I do have a diet feeder, yes. We don't use it a whole lot. We just use it there in times of the year, especially now, we'll say from maybe 2 weeks' time on, when grass is getting scarce in the farm and we might have to start feeding cows a bit of silage and a bit of meal inside, so they're being for night or in by night, and we'd use a diet feeder for that, yeah.
Very good. Actually, this has come up a few times now, so I better ask it. Do you have a quad to help you on the farm, John?
I do have a quad, yes. But the only thing with quads are very dangerous. So we have to be careful. But we have a quad, yeah. So they're very handy in the morning time now, this time of the year, because of the lights, trying to find the cows inside in the field. And they're very handy when we're going fencing and they carry all the stuff for fencing and keeping the fencing right and all that, yeah.
Brilliant. I've somebody who's very observant, and they want to know: do you support Liverpool?
Why? Why do? Of course, I support Liverpool. Yeah, very observant now. Very good.
Yeah,
Yeah.
very observant. Wonder,
Yes.
are
Yeah.
there any Liverpool fans out there?
Yeah, I'm a big Liverpool supporter. Yeah, have been since I was very, very small. Yeah.
So many great questions. So, what happens to your milk when it leaves the farm, John?
Well, our milk goes to the plant in a place called Newmarket. Is owned by Kerry Agri Business, and what they actually do with that is they make cheese. They make cheese with the milk out of our farm. Yeah, and a lot of the farms around here it goes to the plant in the market to make cheese.
Brilliant. I actually want to thank Kerry Agribusiness as well for helping to set this up. So Kerry Agribusiness, they nominated John. They said John would be brilliant for a webinar with pupils all over Ireland. So thanks a million to Kerry for helping sort this out. And we maybe have time for maybe one or two more questions before we finish up. Some of these questions we have maybe answered mostly. Oh, the children in Molyneaux National School would like to know if you went to the ploughing.
Yes, I was at the ploughing. I was there for 3 days at the ploughing. Yes, very, very good, very great. Very. I'd be more interested in the ploughing side of it and the trade side of it and the stands. But yeah, yeah, very good, very, very good show. Yeah.
Brilliant. I wonder, did Molyneaux National School, did they also attend? They might have.
Maybe they did.
So we'll just go with our last question here. This one is maybe, I mean, it's not difficult, but it's a little bit of a tricky one. How does the milk get from the cows and then into the truck? Want to explain that briefly?
Okay, right. Okay, so as you see in the little video there a while ago, where they put on what they call the cluster onto the cow. So that takes the milk out of the cow. It goes through in what they call a cooler, and it's pumped into what's called a refrigerated tank. So that's inside, we have that inside in the dairy, a refrigerated tank where it holds the milk for 3 days. So we hold the milk in that for 3 days at 3 degrees temperature. And the truck will come in every third day, and he'll put a pipe onto the end of the tank, and he'll suck it into the truck and carry it away.
Brilliant. That was a very lovely, concise explanation. So thank you for that. So everybody, that is the end of our webinar. So I would like to say thanks a million to John. So thanks a million for coming on, and we will inform your teachers when we're ready again to do our winter session, and we'll have a little bit of a talk about what happens on the farm during winter. So thanks a million for your participation, and we will see you next time. Thanks everyone. Bye-bye.
Thanks everyone. Thanks for listening.